today's title of our call is called Thriving Through Transition, a coach's guide for busy women moms. And I am going to be interrogating Corina to answer these questions. So, okay, we all know that you recently just moved like across the country. And I know a lot of people struggle with transitions like that, moving, putting themselves into or out of that routine, like out of their normal routine. So, what are your top 3 tips for staying consistent with your healthy habits during a move?
Yeah, routine changes, I want to say, is one of my biggest struggles, but I do follow a few very simple principles. Um, I maintain my water goal. So I focus everywhere I am because it's simple. You can drink and have water anywhere you go. If you're at the airport, you might have to buy some because they dump it. But, there's ways to get the water in. And it makes me feel better if I'm hydrated. So that's my number one. It's super simple. I should be able to follow this anywhere. Maintain my water goal. Another one that I think makes a huge difference is having at least a small protein source in each meal. So for just as an example, pizza for me as a lunch doesn't qualify as a lunch because it's not a complete meal. It doesn't have a salad as a vegetable, and it doesn't really have a protein source I can use. Not saying I never eat pizza, I just know how to pair it. But so having a protein source with each meal, having some yogurt for breakfast or some eggs for breakfast, having a meat with my lunch or my dinner. I should be able to follow like those little principles anywhere I go. And then the last one is I give myself grace for not being able to go to a gym per se. My weights were shipped for 3 months, and it did take me a little bit of time to motivate myself to walk into a new gym, even as a trainer. And I know what I'm doing in the gym, but we all know gym environment, those judgy eyes, and it's intimidating. So what I do during a move or during a vacation, I maintain a step goal, and I will not go to bed if I have not reached my step goal. I am stepping those steps every day.
I did not know. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So circling back around with the pizza, what is like if somebody's like, I really want pizza, so how can I consume that in a macro balance way?
Yeah, I mean, I make sure I have a side salad with that. So that way I know I'm getting my vegetables in. And then if I don't have I can have some protein on my pizza, but most of the proteins that we put on the pizza are kind of high in fat. So if I don't want pepperoni or ham and a mountain of cheese on my pizza, because cheese really is more fat than protein, as we know, I might have a Greek yogurt as a dessert. And that way I have 2 slices of pizza or 1, depending on the size. I have a side salad with that, with a light dressing, because that way I'm saving the fat in the dressing. I don't want to drench it in any, ranch or Thousand Island. I'm going to have a vinaigrette with that. Then I know I'm going to have some fat with that pizza. And then instead of having ice cream for dessert, I might go for Greek yogurt.
Exactly. That's perfect. Love it. So everybody knows the holidays are coming. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about holiday time now. How can we navigate overindulgence during the holidays while still feeling good about our goals? So we're not beating ourselves up, because we know y'all do that.
I want to start answering this by naming I think, number one mistake many, many more people than we think do. And I'm thinking about Thanksgiving especially. Oh, yeah. People feel like, okay, I'm going to eat a big meal for dinner, So I'm not gonna have my breakfast or lunch. And I'm rather just maybe picking on some foods while I'm cooking. And then we're starving because everybody feels like, okay, I need to have room for all this delicious food. And then this never ending meal starts. And at that point, we're under sugared and we're craving everything that's in front of us. And so I would suggest to start any holiday, any day, with your protein rich, nutritious breakfast. And if you want to save some of the calories because you know your holiday meal is an afternoon or evening event, have a lighter lunch. Have a lighter lunch. Have a salad. Put some pumpkin seeds on it. Pumpkin seeds are great. They're a great snack. They actually have some protein. They do fill you up, or sunflower seeds are great too. And then for treats, for holiday meals, I have a couple of things that I follow myself is I do try things, and if something looks good, I have a 1 or 2 bite rule. So I can try things that look good to me. If there's brownie with some ice cream, I have a small, very small serving of that. But the other thing I have to say is if it's not worth it, you do not need to finish that. If it looks so amazing and you try it and it kind of disappoints you or it's not as good as you thought it would be, don't eat it because it is not worth it. If it's delicious and you're loving it, enjoy it. But if it's not what you thought it would be, no, then it's not worth it. The other thing I think I do if I'm some sort in a buffet setting or a potluck setting, if it's a, once we've made it through the main course, which by the way, we should always have a lot of vegetables and a lot of protein on that plate and very small portion of the starchy foods. Because we do want to try some desserts and they're most of the time starchy foods. So
Yeah.
when I do go over to the dessert section, I kind of rule things out. Not saying I can only have 2, because if I make it small enough, I can try 3 things. But if there's a choice of like 8 different things, I can normally see really quickly what is it that I really want to try. I don't need to try 8 things most of the time. I see stuff and I'm like, a chocolate chip cookie is a chocolate chip cookie. I've had hundreds of those in my entire life. So I want to try something that maybe I don't have on a regular, that I don't have access to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if the plate has lots of vegetables and good sources of protein, naturally there's less room for the starchy foods. And I think that's a good tactic as well.
Yes, exactly. So, summary or the takeaway that I heard is focus on your protein, um, especially starting the day, having protein, eat a light lunch, get your vegetables in, focus on the priorities that we teach, right? Like focus on the priorities, protein, vegetable, and save your starches or even your carb heavy things for the dinner, but still fuel your body appropriately. So that way you're not starving and then overindulge it in the evening. And then just pick and choose the most important things that you want to enjoy and just live live your best life. Live your best life.
Yeah. And if the holiday meal is at your house, don't pack all the leftovers into your own fridge. Like have people make some plates and take them with. Maybe portion the leftovers and freeze some, because sometimes, me, if I have a lot of leftovers in the fridge, I hate wasting food and throwing it away because there are plenty of people who don't have it and we paid for it. Then I feel like we need to be eating all of that. And there are things that might be okay to eat once or twice a year, like stuffing, for example, but that's not something that I need to eat leftovers of for several days in a row because they don't
Yeah.
really fit into my typical macros. So in that case, send some home with other people and then freeze it in like smaller portions. So that way you don't feel like you have to eat all of that in a certain amount of days.
And you can do that with the dessert too. Like if there's a dessert that you took home or something that you made that you don't want to throw away, then just portion out pieces, like small bite-sized
Mm-hmm.
pieces for like I take a bite or two after my dinner, or like I'm just going to enjoy a bite or two, and then the rest gets put away. You don't have to throw all of it out if it makes you uncomfortable to do that, but just be strategic with it. Enjoy a little bit and then put it back. You don't have to eat it all. And that's the same thing. Like if you go out for ice cream with your family, this is another example. If you go out with ice cream with your family and you got a cup of ice cream and you go home and you eat, a portion of it, you don't have to finish it all. You don't have to. If you get enough of that satisfaction that you were looking for, then put the rest in the freezer and you could finish the rest tomorrow. You could just split it into different portions. So that was something else. That was some feedback that I got from someone else that said, "Hey, I did this, and it made me feel so much better because I literally ate a little bit of it, and then I ate the rest the next day, and I didn't have to eat it all at one time." So that's something to remember too. Okay, next question. What quick and effective workouts do you recommend for busy moms, women who may have their schedules unexpectedly change?
I like to do body weight exercises in that case. For example, I'm thinking my husband was supposed to drive the kids to a practice and he was held up at work, and I end up driving my kids to a practice and might have to sacrifice my workout time. I could do a workout, a quick and effective workout anywhere with just body weight exercises, as in air squats, so squats without dumbbells at a faster pace, stationary or walking lunges. This is a little crazy, but I usually have an extra mat in my trunk. Okay, I have an exercise mat in my trunk. If I don't, I have a beach towel in my trunk, even though I don't live anywhere near the beach, because I can throw it on the floor. I don't care. I do my push-ups no matter where. I do them. Watch me. I don't care. They can join me if they wish, because it's my body. I got to get my exercise in, okay? I cannot be sitting in a car for an hour reading Facebook if I could be outside exercising. And in that case, step goals. I really think the steps, quick pace walk. It's gonna, even though maybe you're missing a strength training workout on a day or you have to move it to a different day, if you get that brisk 20-minute fast paced walk in or a little jog for the joggers, you're going to feel accomplished and you're not going to feel like, okay, I totally missed out on a workout.
Exactly. I love the feeling of accomplishment. So two examples I want to share really quickly. One is I remember when I lived in Louisiana and I had a lot of kid activities that I was trying to get kids to. Now I have a husband that helps me, but back then I did not. So I sacrificed a lot of workout time. So what I remember going to the baseball field in Benton, Louisiana, at the baseball field, and Baylor going to his practice, and I'm like out in the parking lot at the baseball field, took my mat out there. I actually took a set of dumbbells with me and I did a HIIT workout out in the baseball field. And I did that a lot. So women would know, like they would be pulling up and dropping off their kids or whatever. They were like, yeah, there's that mom working out again. And I had to do what I had to do back then. Right. And then even now I have Selena. So I have to have that feeling of accomplishment. So on Fridays, I don't get help with her. I have her all day on Fridays. So I go to the park and I do the body weight workouts that she talks about. And I do walk jogs and I do push-ups. I do tricep dips on the bench. I do walking lunges. I do exactly what Corina said because I need to feel that accomplishment that I did something for myself that day, no matter if I didn't have a babysitter or help that day at all. So if things happen unexpectedly, you do whatever it takes to get movement in, no matter where you are, because healthy and fit women, they just do it. They just do it. If it's
Yeah.
at practice, if it's going to jujitsu and your kids are going in and you're at a parking lot and you're just going to get it done, or any kind of any kind of sports things that you have to take your kid to, do it there. Do it there. Go for a walk if you don't want to be on the ground doing push-ups.
Yeah. And those are exercises we don't need a lot of space for. We can do them. I've done them during the move in a hotel room. Find a wall, do a wall sit, hold that wall sit, do some push-ups, do a plank, and you're going to feel so much better, and you actually feel like, oh, I just built muscle, because after we threw out some push-ups, you feel that like muscle tonus. It's funny because you look the same after 20 push-ups, but you feel like you're much bigger.
Because it pumps those muscles. Yeah. Okay, what are some meal prep tips that can help us save time during hectic weeks? And I do want to address a question that we get a lot is, what if I get home later than I thought and I was going to cook X, Y, and Z, or I was going to prep, pull this out, but it's late. We got to get in bed as soon as possible.
First of all, ideally, we would prep by ingredients on a weekend and have some prepped ingredients already ready sitting in the fridge. Let's say on a Sunday, we're cutting up some vegetables, maybe throwing some chicken in the crock pot to have pulled chicken. That way you have oven baked vegetables and pulled chicken that you can easily throw into, I don't know, a quesadilla on top of a bagged salad. So I like prepping by ingredients personally more than having a certain meal already made, because it's more diverse for me to pull from the prepped ingredients that I'm storing in my fridge. Now, it has happened many times that I have planned for something and we're out of things, or the kids have already eaten it. And my go-to is at nighttime, eggs on toast with avocado. It's so fast. I always have eggs. I can pick and choose whether I need the toast depending on if it fits in my macros at the end of the day. I like the avocado because we have extra fiber in it. It has healthy fats. It's a superfood. And it pairs well with eggs. But that is such a quick meal, and it doesn't just have to be a breakfast item. A lot of times I make a quick breakfast for dinner instead, because we may have had oatmeal or something for breakfast or something else, but we always have eggs. So in the worst case, I'm making eggs for dinner.
And my go-to is a salad. My go-to is to load up a salad with cucumbers, tomatoes, feta or mozzarella cheese, and I usually always have chicken breast in my fridge, just because we eat a lot of chicken. I usually always have some in there, and so I make a salad. That is the go-to. If nothing else, if all the leftovers that we've had for the week is gone because everybody's eating it already, then it's salad and a protein. That's my go-to too.
One thing real quick. Some people say that I'm getting tired of chicken, or I don't know how to prepare chicken, or it's dry. No, if you put in a crock pot with a little bit of, organic broth, it's not dry. Or we recently got an air fryer. I sprinkled some Italian seasoning on that stuff. I popped those chickens in the air fryer. 12 minutes, guys. 12 minutes. That I can't make eggs faster than that.
Exactly. There's always a way. Okay, next question. How can we involve our family in our healthy choices? And one example is how can we not make double meals for our family so we can still eat healthy? So how do we do that?
Yeah, that one was a tricky one for me when I became a mom of a daughter who's very picky. For my family and for many other kids I've seen or helped feed, kids don't always like it when all the things are mixed up together, because they will find something in there that they don't like or they don't want to eat. So to have like options available but separate from one another, so they can pick and choose and not every meal becomes a battle, I think is a huge win. I put separate macros on the table, and I don't judge what they take, because every single item that is on the table is a whole food item, and their body will tell them what they need. They might not need the same amount of protein I do at that time. So they crave from those options, but those are the options that are available. I pick a vegetable that I usually pick something my family likes, broccoli, green beans, something like that. I put it on the table. I don't force them to eat the vegetable. It's there. I have chicken breast ready. It's on the table. And I have, I don't know, what could it be? Sweet potato on the table. And then everybody that sits down can pick and choose what from those macros they can eat or they want. And then also, I think with children, to give them the knowledge. They might not choose that today, but they will remember what you told them. They will remember, oh, mom said, if I'm not having vegetables, it's not a complete meal. Vegetables have vitamins, they keep me healthy, they make me strong. I never discuss weight issues necessarily with my children. I don't say, oh, this is going to make somebody overweight, or I try not to put it on the weight, but on strong and healthy, because this is what we want. And this is what we want to teach them. This is what they need for the rest of their lives, is to make those informed choices.
Mine is similar to have a protein and you have to have a vegetable, but you can choose it pretty much. But like, for example, we do a lot of grilled foods. So let's just go with the chicken since we talk about it. If we have chicken, we usually will have rice. And then I will let them choose sometimes. Do you want a salad? If we didn't have any cooked vegetable available, which I usually do, but if, like, let's say that we just have raw vegetables, I let them choose which one they want. Do you want a side salad? Do you want just a sliced cucumbers, or do you want carrots? Like, what is it that you want? And usually the kids will pick, like Baylor will always choose carrots. Sydney will always choose cucumbers. They choose different ones, but at least they're getting that complete meal like we talk about. I've been asked this before. Well, I feel like I can't. Well, my family's going to have spaghetti tonight, but I'm just going to make me a chicken salad. That's not going to be a sustainable way to live with that example. I want you to enjoy the spaghetti, but something that we worry about is that spaghetti, if it's mixed in with the pasta, it's more of a carb or starch of heavy item, and it doesn't have enough protein source to give you what you need. So yes, have the spaghetti, but if it's not mixed in, if it's the meat's not mixture is not mixed in, then you can add a little bit more meat mixture onto a small portion of spaghetti to increase protein and lower the starch, and then add a side salad that you were talking about doing anyway to it. Now, if you were planning to have a chicken salad, then another option is you can, if it's a mixed spaghetti dish, you put your spaghetti, that's your carb portion. We're not even going to count the protein on that. And then you can add some chicken to your plate and then have the side salad. But I want you to enjoy the spaghetti with your family because that was what you did before. So we want to change that. We just want to change it into a more macro balanced plate. Now this is what's going to be more sustainable for you and your family.
I agree. And I can't stress enough how important it is to tell them, like, I'm not forcing it on them, but I might tell them, oh, I'm having a big salad with my meal tonight because I need that extra fiber and I need all these vitamins. And the more colorful my plate is, the more vitamins I'm getting. Super simple. Eat like a rainbow. Kids love to hear that, and they will remember that.
What is one piece of advice you would give to women who feel guilty for setting boundaries for themselves?
I'm good at setting boundaries for myself. I'm an only child, guys. Okay, I grew up setting boundaries. I need to express my own needs, and I do not apologize for them. I have certain standards. One is exercising or walks. There's certain things I do, and I don't do that apologetically. Oh gosh,
Mm-hmm.
Melanie, I'm sorry.
You got it.
Okay. Hey, you guys try to do this in German, okay? All right.
Never.
So I'm telling them, and I tell them why, because I come, and my husband or my children, they have never once said to me, oh, you're going to the gym again, oh, you're going on a walk again, because they know when I leave for a little bit and I come back, I am a better mom. I am a better mom because I'm recharged and I can give more when I feel like my needs were met. So don't ever feel guilty about setting boundaries. Don't apologize for them, but communicate what you need.
And what you just said about don't apologize for them, do not apologize for them for stating needs. Please don't do that. Don't do that. You just communicate. I love it.